Your competitors are using AI for sales, and they're mostly doing it badly. Here's how you use AI to outsell them. So I've closed over £10 million in sales in my career, and now the landscape has shifted because of AI, and I've had to adapt my approach. Through trial and error, I've found what actually works. And in the first 2 months of using this new AI-enabled sales strategy, I brought in 902 leads and closed 54 sales on my own with no help. So in this video, I'm going to share the 5 things that have made the most difference to my sales strategy. And none of your competitors know this stuff. The first thing your competitors are doing wrong is ramping up their sales efforts without going back to basics. Because we've all been told that we can use AI to sell more, to reach more people, to do personalization at scale. So your competitors have jumped on this and they're sending out thousands of messages a day and they're telling themselves they're being more productive. But really what they're doing is irritating their prospects, which means they're irritating your prospects. What they've missed, but what you're about to find out, is that there is a massive opportunity to use AI to refine what they're offering, which makes the entire sales process easier. So all they're doing is scaling a broken offer. But if you go back to the basic principle, create value, receive value, you're going to find every part of the sales process easier. So how can AI help you do this? Well, you can go onto Perplexity, and if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified of my Perplexity Super User session, which is a really good one. And you can ask Perplexity to assess your offering against your competitors, to analyze reviews of your competitors' products, and to spot the big gaps or complaints, which is where are your competitors not meeting the customer's needs. I did this for the AI edit. I got Perplexity to search through reviews of other AI upskilling programs, and the 3 biggest complaints were that the content was out of date, the courses were expensive, and there was no support when it came to actually implementing the learnings. So that's helped me narrow down my own USPs for the AI edit. Every single session I run is live, so the content can never be out of date. My pricing is very affordable, and I have an AI mentoring add-on for professionals who need extra support. I wouldn't have been able to refine my offering or my messaging without doing this step first. Your competitors haven't done this, which means they're wasting a huge amount of effort selling something that the customer just doesn't want. You can beat them simply by improving your offer, and it only takes a couple of hours. The second thing your competitors are getting wrong is lead generation. They've figured out that they can ask ChatGPT to write a blog post a day, an ebook a week, and 1,000 social media posts a month. So they're doing that. Never in their wildest dreams did they think that they could produce this much marketing and lead gen content with so little effort. But what they're really doing is they're creating AI slop. They're producing heaps of boring, generic content that just summarizes the boring, generic content that everyone else creates. So they feel like they're doing more and being more productive, but they're making themselves invisible. You win by making content that is actually brilliant, actually informed, and actually worth someone's attention. And if you don't have the budget for an agency, then the way to do that yourself is to focus on EEAT, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. The only way to produce content that meets that EEAT threshold is to look within. Look deep inside your business or your life. What are you really good at? What do you know that others don't? What do you see every day? And this video is a perfect example. I have a proven track record in sales. I've worked the strategy out all by myself, and now I'm sharing it. A chatbot could never have come up with this content. The third mistake is advertising. Your competitors are blowing money on the wrong social media ads. They're thinking too narrowly about social advertising. They assume their audience isn't on Reddit or Facebook because they're B2B, or isn't on LinkedIn because they're B2C. But what they're missing is that these social media companies have been disgracefully harvesting billions of users' data for over a decade. That means that the plumber you're targeting might not tell Reddit he's a plumber when he browses through a parenting subreddit, but Reddit knows. Just like Meta knows that the guy who follows interior design trends on Instagram is also a teacher. Your competitors are wasting money and missing opportunities, but you're smarter than them. And there are 3 things you should be doing with social ads if you can't afford an agency and you're doing them on a shoestring. So the first is to experiment with every platform to find the one that works best for your business. The second is to use lead ads where you only pay once you've captured the lead data. And the third is, if you don't have an agency to do this for you, let the platforms do the targeting. They know where your customers are. I did this myself, and I found that Meta lead ads generate a consistent flow of potential customers for me. I keep them in my database, I warm them up with my content, and I offer them the occasional freebie. And it works. The fourth mistake your competitors are making is they're doing cringeworthy automated LinkedIn outbound. They've appointed one of those companies that offers an AI agent sales rep service, and they're blasting their prospects, who are also your prospects, with awful sequences, automated comments on their content, fake personalization, and insincere sales questions. This represents a huge opportunity for you because your competitors are making fools of themselves. For example, my surname is Baker, and I'm getting targeted by people selling bakery products, even though I don't run a bakery, and I never have. AI makes it easy to pretend to care, and your competitors are pretending too hard. But now I'm going to share a LinkedIn sales secret that you can use with real context, real human intelligence, and targeting that actually means something. There is an amazing tool that I've linked to in the description that I use to semi-automate LinkedIn outreach. And whenever I target based on something a competitor can't easily replicate. And this tool lets me do that. So I target people who went to the same university, are from the same hometown, or importantly, liked a piece of content that really resonates deeply with me. For example, if they care about free speech, they are my people and I am their people. And then I connect with them based on that commonality, and I offer them something of value for free that they can't get anywhere else, like a good piece of content or an invitation to one of my live sessions. My conversion rate with this strategy is 18%, and you can replicate that for sure. And finally, your competitors are blasting outbound email in a way that gets them blocked. They've got AI writing their emails so everything sounds generic and boring. They're sending without validating their lists, without protecting their email sending domains, and without offering anything meaningful. They're getting flagged as spam, and they are burning through entire audiences they'll never be able to contact again. And you don't need to do any of that. Intelligent, selective, high-quality outbound still works, but you've got to be strategic. So you need to start by segmenting your targets into niches, not small business owners, but owners of small accounting firms in the Wiltshire area. Then you get their contact information on Apollo, I've linked in the description, and you personalize your outreach by name dropping either small accounting practices that you've helped or a local landmark, something you have in common. That is how you 10x your response rate. It's slightly more work than letting an AI sales tool do your outreach for you, but it's worth it because you get results while competitors burn all their bridges. So it's perfectly possible that one day AI will be able to replace almost every part of your sales process and do it better than humans. But we're not there yet, not even close. Right now, when AI does something impressive, it's because a brilliant human has trained it, directed it, or pushed it. If you're a brilliant human, if you can think clearly and sell well, AI amplifies that. It makes you faster, sharper, and more efficient. And if your competitors are sloppy, AI amplifies that too. It doesn't level the playing field, it widens the gap. And because you know that, you are going to go so far in 2026. If you've learned something today, the free way you can support me is by subscribing to the Humans in the Loop. Please do.